understand what I've been through. All of it made me into the man that I am today.
32-0, his brother Andre Ward was great.
I'm going to do things my way. I wanted to have a body of work, not just in the ring, but as a man.
Only thing you ain't done in boxing is lose.
SOG, The Book of Ward, only on Showtime, streaming with Paramount Plus.
Live on Showtime, middleweight champ Carlos Adames makes his first title defense.
Adames exploding! He caught him with the left hook, and he's hurt!
Against former 3-belt title holder Julian J-Rock Williams.
You wanted the best, you got the best! Adames to the body and upstairs!
Two top fighters from boxing's deepest division go toe-to-toe. Adames versus Williams for the Interim Middleweight Championship on Showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Minneapolis, Minnesota as Premier Boxing Champions presents your official weigh-in for tomorrow's exciting night of boxing from the historic Armory. It is all brought to you by TGB Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Showtime. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, before we begin our official weigh-in for our main card, preceding that will be the Showtime Countdown Prelims, and that all goes live on the Showtime Sports YouTube page at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. local. Now, our first bout on that card will be 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. It's time to meet our fighters for our countdown prelims. First up, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, with 2 wins, including 1 by knockout, opposite of 1 defeat. Here is Lyle McFarlane. And now we welcome his opponent coming to the stage. His record undefeated, 3 victories with 2 wins by knockout. Representing Linden, Michigan, here is Mikhail Spencer. All right, now first up onto the scale, once again from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Lyle McFarlane. 141.4 for McFarlane. And now it's time to welcome his opponent, the undefeated Mikhail Spencer. $141.4 for Spencer. Four rounds in the super lightweight division. This will be our first bout on the Showtime Countdown Prelims tomorrow night. Lyle McFarlane taking on Mikhail Spencer. All right, now we continue with our weigh-ins. Now we go to 8 rounds in the super bantamweight division. Introducing first with 22 victories with 12 wins by knockout, opposite of 12 defeats. Representing Canalate, Colombia, here is Wilner Soto. And now we welcome his opponent with a record of 33 victories with 22 coming by way of knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 2 draws. Representing Panabo City, Davao del Norte, Philippines, here is the talented Julian Pretty Boy Ancajas. And now the first up onto the scale, once again, Wilner Soto. 120.8, 120.8 for Soto. And now we welcome his opponent, once again from the Philippines, Julian Pretty Boy Ancajas. 121.8, 121.8 for Ancajas. Eight rounds in the super bantamweight division. Wilner Soto taking on Julian Pretty Boy Ancajas. And now we continue with 10 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, coming up to the stage with 6 wins, 5 wins by knockout, opposite of 2 defeats and 1 draw. Representing Dallas, Texas, here is Burley Havoc Brooks. And now we welcome his opponent with 31 victories with 19 wins by knockout, opposite of 5 defeats and 2 draws. Representing Osceola, Minnesota, he is a former super middleweight world champion, Minnesota's own Caleb Golden Truax. And now first up onto the scale, once again, Burley Havoc Brooks. 174 for Brooks. And now we go to his opponent once again, Minnesota's Caleb Golden Truax. 174.8, 174.8 for Truax. Ten rounds in the light heavyweight division. Burley Havoc Brooks taking on Caleb Golden Truax. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, all 3 of those fights will begin at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. local time on the Showtime Countdown Prelims and the Showtime Sports YouTube page. And now it's time to turn it over to the legendary Hall of Famer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you and welcome as Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for our featured attractions live on Showtime Championship Boxing, taking place tomorrow at the beautiful Armory here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Our big night of action presented to you courtesy of TGB Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Showtime. At this time, we bring up our fighters in our opening attraction. It's a battle of undefeated fighters for the IBF Junior Bantamweight Championship of the World. First, please welcome the challenger. From General Santos City in the Philippines, he's the IBF #1 contender. Please welcome Jade Hurricane Bornea. And we invite his opponent to the stage at this time from Buenos Aires, Argentina. He is the defending IBF Junior Bantamweight Champion of the World, Fernando Pumita Martinez. Puma Martinez, he corrects me, with his new name, and the new champion making his second defense. Let's bring our fighters to the scale at this time. Not quite yet. First, once again, here is the challenger. His record is 18-2 with 12 knockouts, making his first attempt at a world title, the undefeated IBF #1 contender. Here is Jade Hurricane Bornea. Right at the limit of 115 pounds. 115 pounds for the undefeated contender. And his opponent, 15-0 with 8 knockouts, the second defense of his title, the undefeated IBF Junior Bantamweight Champion of the World, Fernando Puma Martinez. 114.5 pounds, 114.5 pounds for the defending champion, Fernando Puma Martinez. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It opens up Showtime Championship Boxing tomorrow. 12 rounds. The IBF Junior Bantamweight Championship of the World. Fernando Puma Martinez versus Jade Hurricane Bornea. All right, fans, here we go. Let's continue our weigh-in from beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota. Premier Boxing Champions continues with our co-main event of the evening. Let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. First, from Las Vegas, Nevada, the battle-ready contender. Please welcome Luis Cuba Arias. And his opponent from Florida, the former world title challenger, please welcome Erickson, the Hammer Lubin. Well, as our fighters are getting ready to step onto the scale, the weight limit on this fight is 157 pounds. We're going to call this a catchweight super welterweight attraction. We're scheduled 10 rounds of boxing. First, with 20 wins in his 25 bouts, the former esteemed amateur and current world contender, please welcome Luis Cuba Arias. 155 3/4 pounds, 155 3/4 pounds. And his opponent with a record of 24-2 with 17 knockouts. He's the Southpaw WBC #6 ranked super welterweight contender. Introducing Erickson, the Hammer Lubin. 156.5 pounds, 156.5 pounds. We have a fight, a super welterweight over the limit showdown, special attraction, co-main event of the evening. Facing off for the final time before they meet in the center of the ring. We're going to have to wait for that first bell tomorrow. Co-featured bout of the evening, special attraction, Erickson, the Hammer Lubin, Luis Cuba Arias. All right, fans, here we go. Premier Boxing Champions presents the official weigh-in for the main event of the evening, the featured attraction brought to you by TGB Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Showtime, as sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. And we bring our fighters to the stage at this time. First, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's the former unified 154-pound champion of the world, Julian J-Rock Williams. And his opponent to the stage at this time, one of the most feared men in boxing today, from Washington Heights, New York, by way of the Dominican Republic. He is the interim WBC middleweight champion of the world, Carlos Adames Jr. And our fighters are ready to step onto the scale. Our main event is 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC interim middleweight world championship. First, here is the challenger, record 28-3-1 with 16 knockouts, the former world champion, current world contender, Julian J-Rock Williams. 159.25 pounds, 159.25 pounds. And now with a record of 22 wins, 1 loss, 17 big wins coming by way of the knockout. Here is the hard-hitting interim WBC middleweight world champion, Carlos Adames Jr. 159.5 pounds, 159.5 pounds for Carlos Adames Jr. And don't miss the action in this, our main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing, interim WBC middleweight championship, Carlos Adames Jr. versus Julian J-Rock Williams. Once again, the final time they're facing each other before they meet in the center of the ring tomorrow night for the main event of the Premier Boxing Champions presents and provided by TGB Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Showtime, sponsored by DraftKings.
Live on Showtime, middleweight champ Carlos Adames makes his first title defense.
Adames exploding. He caught him with the left hook, and he's hurt.
Against former 3-belt title holder Julian J-Rock Williams.
You wanted the best. You got the best. Adames to the body and upstairs.
2 top fighters from boxing's deepest division go toe-to-toe. Adames versus Williams for the interim middleweight championship on Showtime.
You have to understand what I've been through. All of it made me into the man that I am today.
32-0, his brother Andre Ward was great.
I'm going to do things my way. I wanted to have a body of work, not just in the ring.